What's up, SOS Army? See what I did there?
I did.
I used a callback. That's a callback. I'm so sophisticated.
So sophisticated.
Right? If you're a first-time listener and just stumbled upon us, then this is the podcast that really tries hard to sound smart, but still chat GPT's like 3/4 of things, just so we know what we're talking about. I'm Pete, and sitting way too close to me in our cramped little studio is Amanda. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, and you're such a prima donna. It's not cramped.
It's cramped.
Quite spacious.
Oh my God. Speaking of spacious.
Oh, no.
No, wait a second.
Oh, no.
No, never mind.
Oh,
no,
no.
don't judge me. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'm not
Okay,
talking
good.
about it.
No, but you got to tell me. I can't. I tried to pretend like I could not bug you.
But no judging.
Okay.
Promise? Pinky promise me. Pinky promise me right now.
Pinky promise.
Okay, no judging. Okay, so you know I'm going to Greece, right?
Yes.
Like tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So like a month or so ago, I hired some dude to
You got a personal stylist?
help me pick out clothes. Yes.
Where at? Like Nordstrom's?
In South Coast Plaza.
Of course.
Yes. Okay.
You're one bougie mother trucker.
Thank you. And thanks for not judging me. I appreciate that. Okay. So
Totally did.
Gabby used to help, but you know, she can't now.
Okay.
Right,
Yes,
for obvious reasons. But wait a second. So this isn't
Gotta
even
pack on the guilt there.
right.
Thanks.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta throw that in there.
Thanks.
That's not the embarrassing part. You want to know the embarrassing part?
Okay.
He came over this morning to help me pack.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So is he also like a special friend of yours?
wow.
Does
Okay.
he get certain benefits?
No.
Oh,
No.
Oh.
Okay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. This is a judge-free zone. Okay. But there's a reason why he came over. I have a story.
I'm
okay?
waiting.
So I wanted to be able to get to Europe for, we'll call it 10 days, 3 days in Athens and then like 7 days on the cruise, with a carry-on and a personal item.
That's it.
Yes. I did not want to bring a checked bag.
Are you insane?
That was the plan. So
Okay.
I called my buddy up, my personal stylist, Rod. Oh my God, his name's Rod. That's even worse. Okay. And yeah, he came over and he picked my outfits and then was able to give me less outfits because I'm an idiot, right? Like whatever I bought when he helped me buy clothes. So I would just do like, oh, I need a pair of pants and a shirt for every day or whatever. No, he was
Sure.
like, no, you don't need any of this shit. So he totally trimmed me down. He's like, gave me like
Oh,
3 of
really?
these,
Like,
2 of
yeah,
these.
yeah,
And then
mix
he's like,
that.
you're going to launder one time while you're there on the cruise.
Okay.
And this is what you're going to do. And he totally packed everything for me, and it's glorious. And judge me all you want. I just totally had a packing personal stylist.
Again, I stick by my statement
I know.
of you are a bougie mother trucker.
I am. So
And here we are.
what should I do to
Did he
make
buy
up
you
for-
new clothes?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the whole point. I have a whole new wardrobe.
Whole new.
Yes, that's how this all started.
Is this outfit a new one?
It's the outfit. No, this is regular. This is regular Pete right here.
I literally was gonna be like, because you look the same.
Wow. No, if you my
Is it like for work stuff?
my girls saw me and they were like, "Dad, dude, like you're gonna bag somebody. Like it's
Wow.
serious. I look pretty decent.
Maybe Rod.
Not gonna lie. I like Rod. Rod's a good guy. Shout out to Rod. Rod Baker, personal stylist, South Coast Plaza, badass mofo. Everybody should use him. I do totally understand. It's bougie. I get it. And I'll like volunteer at church or something to make up
Your
for
privilege
it.
is showing.
fine.
All right,
Yes.
so what are we talking about
I'm gonna
today?
Stop you. Thank you. And thank you so much, Amanda, for not judging me
Oh, I
through
absolutely
all of
judged
that.
the shit out
That
of
was
you.
very-
And
that was
so
very
did
nice of
everybody
you.
else who's
Okay.
listening to this episode.
Well, here we are.
Oh,
It's
we
all
are.
out there
Yeah.
on the airwaves. It's out there. You can't
Yep.
take it back now.
Can't take it back.
Today's episode is officially titled Don't Fear the Timpani. Classical music debunked, people. And today
No,
we're
hold
gonna
on.
What?
I got a question.
What?
What is a timpani?
Yeah, it's like the big kettle drum things that they use all the time in the orchestra,
Okay.
right? Like the percussion section
Oh, okay.
of the orchestra.
Got it. The
Yeah.
things that give rhythm and life to music.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So today we're going to get all sophisticated on classical music and how to listen to it, and hopefully, Amanda, start to like it because I'm bougie and entitled and like classical music.
That you do.
You know,
So what about classical music makes us cultured, or do I need to Google it?
you're Googling it because I have no idea. So
Oh, no.
get on that.
Okay,
and,
hold on,
And
hold on.
basically, you know what I would do? Well, you should really chat GPT it and not Google it because like Google AI doesn't remember all the shit we talk about.
Oh,
like
that's true.
Chat GPT AI does because we pay for Chat GPT. So from now on, if you could do that, please.
So all of the information
Instead
that
of
you
Googling.
guys get is courtesy of the premium cost of ChatGPT.
Thank you very much.
It's
Let's
an
go.
elevated AI experience.
All right. Did I
Sorry.
Did I talk long enough for you to Google
you
this
know
shit?
what? I had to
All
log
right.
in. Hold on.
Okay, go.
Okay, so classical music has long been associated with cultural refinement because it embodies centuries of artistic evolution, intellectual depth, and emotional nuance. Engaging with it invites listeners to a broader historical and philosophical dialogue. Its presence across literature, film, and even political ceremonies reinforces its role as a cultural touchstone. Appreciating classical music isn't merely about taste. It signals a willingness to explore ideas that have shaped societies, inspired revolutions, and transcended generations.
I could not have said that.
Yeah, that was way too sophisticated, just right. So we know.
So from now on, when we chat GPT it, we have to say, please give us the sort of sophisticated. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
And see what I get
okay.
from now on.
Okay, from now on, let's go. Yep.
Okay, can we do word of the day now, please?
Yep.
Otherwise, we're never going to start
Yeah,
this
but
up.
I have one.
You have one?
I do have one.
Oh, shit. Let's go. Look at you. All right. I'm putting mine
ready?
in the back pocket. I'm using mine next week.
Okay,
Go.
use it next week. Okay. So our word of the day is euloginous.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
That's not even a word.
It is.
You just made that up.
It is.
No, that sounds like something like a doctor would tell you when like you get your blood test results or something, Amanda.
I mean, well, one, it's not that sophisticated.
It's pretty sophisticated.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, you should know what like.
Excuse me, Peter. Your euloginous levels are elevated again.
No.
Right? Yes.
No.
What is it? What does it mean?
It actually means swampy, marshy, or damp. And it's usually used to describe places, not people.
Yeah. So like your euloginous armpits, basically, is what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Offensive, but fair.
But that's absolutely right. Because we're cramped here together in this little studio. You leave the air conditioning on 85 degrees, and I smell your euloginous armpits all day long. It's wonderful.
All right.
Did I get that right?
Okay. Sure.
Okay. I don't even know why we have words like this.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yep. Moving on. Go ahead. Tell us all about classical music.
Are we ready for this?
Yeah, so I don't kill you.
You seem a little pissed off right now. Are you sure we could go? All right. We're starting with basics because, believe it or not, the term classical music gets thrown around a lot, and it usually means different things to different people. Most people use it as like a catch-all for anything with an orchestra, with timpani drums, anything dramatic.
I mean, when you say classical, I think like Mozart, Beethoven. Like, that is classical music.
Okay,
and that's all I picture.
So this makes sense. I think that's what most people think, right? But believe it or not, that's only one little slice of the whole thing.
What do you mean one little slice? Like,
Right.
You mean like there are many more composers or?
No, you're thinking of something called the classical period, not classical music.
What?
So, yep, went a little nuts, right? You know, like a rectangle's not a square, square's not a rectangle.
Yeah,
the whole
okay.
thing. Okay, right. So
yeah,
from about 1750 to 1830 is the classical period, which is what you're talking about. That includes Mozart, Haydn, and some early Beethoven stuff because he spanned over 2 different places. We'll talk about that. Super clean, super pretty stuff. We're going to call that classical with a capital C, okay? But the term classical music, what we're going to go through today, actually refers to the broader time period from 1600 all the way up till today. Literally 500 years.
It's more of like a type of music than a period of music.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
There are different periods inside of what you call classical music. One of those periods happens to be also called the classical period.
With a capital C.
With a capital C because we're too stupid and couldn't think of another word.
Okay.
Yes. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, I'm tracking.
Okay, beautiful.
Huh. The more you know. Do you know that? Okay.
So basically, now, classical music is like all Western music that isn't regular stuff, like pop, rock, R&B, jazz, country, alternative, like whatever. Like you get the idea. Basically, anything that has an orchestra and trained musicians. Okay?
Okay, so the classical lowercase c, classical music, starts from the 1600 till today.
Bingo.
And within that time frame, there is the capital classical period. Yep. So then what are there other ones in between here and there?
Okay, quick and dirty. You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is how we're going to do this. All right, so you have Baroque. That ran from 1600 to 1750. So that was Bach, Handel, Vivaldi. That's like really complex, really fancy sounding stuff, like a lot of shit going on at one time. Every instrument's doing its own thing, but like somehow it all works together. Okay. Then you have the classical period, the one we just talked about, going from 1750 to 1830. That's Mozart and Haydn. It's like cleaner than Baroque music. It feels like organized, like it's controlled. You know what to expect. That's like the point of classical music, capital C, like super structured. Then you have the Romantic period. That's from 1830 to 1900. This is when music gets way more emotional. Like it's big, like big. So that's older Beethoven. Young Beethoven was classical. Older Beethoven was Romantic. Tchaikovsky and Chopin. The volume changes like crazy. Even people who don't like classical music will feel something with the Romantic period. Like you cannot help it. Okay. And then finally you have the modern and contemporary periods, which, I guess modern technically goes from 1900 to 1975, and contemporary is anything from like 1975 till now. and this is all over the place stuff. A lot of these composers tried like breaking all the old rules and trying new shit. Sometimes they even throw in electronics, but it all still counts as classical music.
Okay.
Not classical period. You with me?
I am.
Okay,
but that's kind of a pretty big range.
I know.
So even though the sounds change, it's all considered classical.
Yes, it is.
But I mean, that kind of makes sense because if you think of like hip hop, it has evolved and there's different hip hop styles.
This is
and whatever
exactly
else.
the
So
same
it's the same
thing.
thing, but
Yes.
we think of it as just one type of music versus
We think of Mozart, like you just
periods
said.
within.
That's all. Correct.
Okay.
So to be classical, it has to be composed intentionally. It has to be written down. It was meant to be performed, mostly by an orchestra, but not always. And it's part of what they call the Western art music tradition. That's it. Then it's called classical. You with me?
So wait, are we talking about all of this today or just the classical period and like Mozart or
Oh, no, we're talking about all of them today.
all of them?
I mean, maybe one day we could talk
That's a
about
lot.
yeah, but like if we go too narrow and deep, like we're not
fair,
going to get
fair,
everybody.
fair,
Like,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
the whole idea is
So
sort of
we're a
sophisticated.
general
yes.
global view.
Well, we want to know
of
how to listen like a fancy
classical
person.
music.
We're sort of sophisticated.
Okay.
You get the idea.
All right, here we go. So I don't think a lot of people actually listen to classical music. I think people think that it's boring
I
or
do.
intimidating.
I think it's excellent. Do you
Of
know?
course you do. Didn't we just already establish how
do
bougie
you know
are? You were
when,
so
Do you know when I
bougie.
listen to classical music?
I don't know.
When I'm working on our podcast.
Okay, well, so
How do you
in
like that?
theory, hold on. So yes, I mean,
And I mean all classical music, not just capital C
There is
classical music.
lots of studies of like when
Yes.
babies are in utero, you should put the headphones on,
Bingo.
play classical
Thank
music.
you.
You should play classical music when working or learning
Yes.
because it helps build all these synapses. So like, I understand the beauty of classical music and the need for classical music, but I
Yes.
feel like people don't normally listen to classical music.
You know why?
Does that make sense?
I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because they think there's some sort of secret code they're supposed to figure out while
But
they're
there
listening to
is
it.
because every song tells a story.
Spoiler. There's not.
Yes.
No, nowhere does it say you actually have to understand classical music to enjoy it.
I mean, you don't.
It's like art. Remember when we did our whole like art appreciation episode, and we just said go to a museum and start looking at shit, and we sort of gave people the basics, like sort of like the blocking and tackling of how to look at art. Same thing with classical music. We're doing the same thing. You just notice what you notice. Just listen for patterns, repeating melodies, like changes in energy. It doesn't matter, dude. It's a vibe. We're vibing. Smoke some dope and listen to some classical music. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That was not where I thought you were going to go with that, but
All right.
here we are.
Here we go. I have a hack. Can I
Okay.
give you a hack?
What is the hack?
Okay. Somebody told me about this hack like a long time ago, and I think it helped.
Okay.
You know what? I must have known somebody bougie who helped me
Fair.
be bougie. Okay. Think of each.
Or just more sophisticated than us.
Let's just
Here
say
we
that.
go.
Yeah. So you remember how you just said like the whole it's part of a story?
Yes.
Right. So somebody else told me about that. And they said think of each instrument like as a character, a specific character in a movie, right? So think about it. The strings, those would be the main character. That's the emotion in the song, or I guess like the piece instead of the song to be sort of sophisticated. Violins, cellos, right? They're the guy or the girl falling in love or crying in the rain. They bring all the drama, mama.
Yeah.
The
Like,
strings.
But
right?
it is so much more. I mean, I know you're not going to say it's not so much more sophisticated, but it really is because it's not just this harmony of music,
No.
but it is all of these instruments coming together and they tell a story.
Okay, so specifically the classical capital C?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right? Oh my God,
So
amazing.
just.
No, not just. I'm just
Okay.
saying specifically.
Okay.
The others, all the same. You could use this construct of storytelling, like you said, with all of them, for sure. I'm just saying classical capital C is like the best one because it's the easiest to predict.
Got it.
That's
Got it.
all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. Okay, then you got the brass section. Think of them as like the villain or the antagonist in the movie. So those are the trumpets, the trombones, the tubas, right? So when you think about them,
The ones who bring the dun dun dun.
yeah, yes, absolutely. Oh my God, Darth Vader, Imperial March. That is
yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
that is trombones, that is trumpets, that's tubas. Yes, that's his like dun dun
Yep.
dun dun
The
dun
impeding
dun
doom is
dun,
coming.
dun.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Look at you're like a pro in like 2 seconds. You got this figured out.
Okay. No. So, truth be told,
What?
I only know about this
Why?
because it was on Baby Einstein.
You know what Baby Einstein does? Teaches little kids about classical music. Let's go.
It's true.
Okay, then you have the woodwinds. Okay, the flutes, the clarinets, the oboes, right? These are the comedians. These are the sidekicks. If I came back in my next life as an instrument,
You would be
I want to be a
a
woodwind.
woodwind. Yep.
I don't know if
That-
I'd be a
that
good
tracks.
woodwind, but
That
I want to be
tracks.
okay. Think
You
of
would
like
be the one who was like,
right. I'd be the clickers. Okay, think of like the animal sidekicks in Disney, like Sebastian
Yep.
in The Little Mermaid, or Timon and Pumbaa in The Lion King, Abu in Aladdin.
Yeah.
You get the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
They sneak in and sneak around. They liven everything up. Okay, those are the woodwinds, right? And then finally, you have the drums, the percussion, the timpani. Okay, drums equal tension. Not like a character exactly. But when you hear drums, some shit's about to go down. Okay, Amanda? Especially the timpani. Anytime those drums show up, dude, strap it on. Shit's about to get real. If you pay attention, they use this stuff in movies like all the time.
All right. I think everyone's tracking because it just flows so well. If you look at it as the different instrument sections on how it's telling the story, I think everyone just needs to realize, like, we don't have to analyze everything to be good at listening to classical music.
Totally, completely.
We just kind of need to listen for some stuff and kind of hear the vibe.
It's the vibe. On. Yeah, so like when I listen to classical music, I pretend, like I just close my eyes, and I pretend I'm watching a movie that has no words. So I just make up the story as I go along. Like, I don't have to explain it to anybody. I don't even give a shit. It's just my story, the one I make up. You know, like when you dream.
I mean, you are a true musical person.
You know when you wake up from
every composer wants people to do.
You dream all the time. And you wake up and it's like, your dreams are crazy. Right? By the way, you never start a dream with saying like, hey, Peter, I had a really normal dream the other day. Right? It's always like, oh my God, I had a crazy dream. Because all these thoughts are just flying through and none of it necessarily connects.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
What?
And for people, this might be easier, like visual for them of what it is. But Fantasia.
Oh
Disney's
my
Fantasia.
God. Perfect.
With Mickey, and he's like the conductor.
And shit just
goes. And there's like
goes.
the mop, and then there's the elephants, and there's the
whales in the sky.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's my point. It's just
dreaming.
It's your story. It's my story. We get to make up it as we go. And there's no fucking judging. Remember at the beginning where you were judging the shit out of me? Yeah.
I mean, I still am, but
right.
Sure.
Okay. So don't be judging me when I listen to classical music.
I don't.
Okay.
And part of it is hard because everyone thinks classical music, I feel like, is like, oh, it's a snooze fest. Right?
Oh, totally.
But I think if we got into the habit of allowing ourselves to dream or be creative or tell a story from what we're hearing, though it sounds super uber sophisticated, it's really not.
Nope.
Just feel the vibe. And if we do it that way, I feel like we all could appreciate classical music a little more.
I love it. Absolutely.
While we're talking about it, and I know that we're kind of making it sound like it's just so easy. And I mean, it is really kind of like the juvenile way to go about it. So I know how we were just talking about how it's so easy to go about listening to classical music and telling the story. And it's a little bit juvenile, but I think it's a good place to start. But how about like when we are with somebody who's actually in the classical music world, who like are professional, what are they
classical
called?
Music listeners. They're CMLs.
I'm sorry, CML?
They're CMLs.
Is this a new thing you're TMing?
I am. CML,
okay.
TM. Let's go.
But you know, like there are people who are like in the realm of classical music.
Yeah.
So how do we relate to them? How do we connect with them without just, being like, oh, I see whales in the sky?
So basically what you're saying is you want to fake it to look smart. Is that what you're trying to do?
We got to fake it till we make it. Let's go.
Ooh, okay. So this sort of depends. Because if you're hanging out with a bunch of like pretentious a-holes, which is basically what you tried to say.
Okay, a little bit.
Yeah, you're screwed. You better just keep your mouth shut. That's what I would say.
No, because there has to be certain like buzzwords.
Okay, I can help a little. I can help.
A little sophisticated, right, but we're only sorta.
Let's do that. That's fine.
I need enough to sorta, seem like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor though? Would you mind turning down the air conditioning a little bit? I'm getting a little eulogianous in here. Do you mind?
Well played.
Okay.
It actually is quite nice today, but continue.
Okay. I feel like this is a pattern in this new studio that we're in.
I think I just need to get you like your own personal little fan.
It's a little swampy. Can we point the fan in very specific areas? Okay.
Yes, you can.
Can we move on? All right. Here we go. Some jargon.
Yes.
Okay. Some classical music jargon.
Yeah.
How about this? I'll give you a word, and then I'll give you the normal human way of saying it so you don't look like a tryhard. Does that make sense? Like I'll give you the sophisticated way, and then I'll give you the normal human way. Okay?
Okay, let's go.
The first one is called counterpoint. That's when two or more melodies happen at the same time, but like on top of each other. So you would say something super pretentious or super sophisticated, like the counterpoint here is so layered. But since we're only sort of sophisticated, try something like the way the instruments layer over each other is really interesting. That way you look smart. And you don't look like a tryhard.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Makes sense? Okay. The next one is called a crescendo or dynamic development. Think of a crescendo like a build-up, right? Duh. We should have used crescendo as our word of the day. When the sound starts soft and slowly gets louder and louder until it's all big and dramatic. And dynamic development just means the music changes in volume throughout the piece. So it's like up or down. It just doesn't stay at one level the whole time. So the sophisticated, pretentious asshole way would be, this piece has the ultimate crescendo. But me in the more sort of sophisticated way of not looking like a douche would be, I love how this builds up kind of slowly. You can like really feel the tension rising. Is this helping like at all? Are you getting this?
Yes.
Okay. I got a few more then. Okay, so the next one's called...
I'm taking note.
Oh, wow, let's go. The next one is called call and response or instrumental dialogue. This is when one instrument or a group of instruments plays a musical idea and then the other one answers it. So sort of like a conversation between two people. It's super common in classical music. Well, actually all music really, but it's not always super obvious. But when you hear it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Kind of like You bought a red Tesla, now all of a sudden everyone has a red Tesla. You get the idea. So if you want to sound super sophisticated here, you would say, I love the call and response happening between the strings and the woodwinds here. You remember the main character and the comedians, right?
Yes.
But since we're only going for sort of sophisticated, we would say, it kind of feels like the instruments are talking to each other in this part. I like it.
Okay.
All right. 2 more. The next one is something called cinematic. Seems pretty self-explanatory. It's when the music feels like it should be in a movie, right? Duh. Kind of reminds you of a soundtrack. It's not a technical term, but it's a good word to use when the music gives you a strong vibe. So if you want to sound sophisticated, you would say, there's something really cinematic about the way this part of the score is unfolding. But that's something bougie, I would say, right? We don't want to say it. So if you're only going for like something you're looking for, it would be, this totally sounds like it could be in a movie scene. Super visual.
All right.
The last one, finally, it's called eulogianous.
You're
okay,
so full of
just
it.
kidding. It's not. I know. I'm so
You already got it in once. I don't know why you got to try again. No, Peter, no.
Okay. Anyway, so this last one's called tension and release. This is when the music builds up, suspense or tension, and then lets it go, like releases. Okay. It's a way to make the music feel more satisfying. What is happening? Hold it together. Think of it like a movie where everything gets super quiet, and then all of a sudden, boom, like resolution, okay? It's the way that they keep you engaged. So if you want to sound sophisticated, you might say, this piece has a really strong tension and release arc. But if we're staying true to the whole sort of sophisticated thing, then you would say, you can almost feel it building up and then letting go. It's like super satisfying. All right. I don't know if any of that helped you feel like you could be more sophisticated, but I feel like I gave you 4 or 5 different things to use to make you keep up with pretentious a-holes, okay?
Okay, well, I feel like that was actually pretty legit. So
thank you.
You went hard and fast. That was actually really legit. And you had like some solid tips right there.
You're unbelievable. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. And back on track.
Okay, fine. Okay, that was actually totally legit and much more put together than I was expecting. And I feel like I can probably keep up with some of my friends now who professionally play like the bass and the cello.
It's all about that bass, about that bass, about that bass.
Yes. So here is in hopes of me being able to potentially sound educated enough, cultured enough to keep a conversation going. But what if I actually want to know what I'm listening to? Like, how do I tell if it's like from the Romantic period or the capital C classical period or like the weird modern stuff or Baroque?
That is a good question, Amandita. Yeah, each period has its own style. And once you learn how to listen for it, it's actually kind of easy. Do you want to actually listen to each one? Like, you want me to...
Okay.
You know how you usually give me a quiz?
Okay,
Do you want me to just like play it and I can explain it to you?
Sure,
It's not going to be a quiz.
let's go.
I'll just explain it to you.
Yep.
All right, so let's start with Baroque.
Okay.
This is the Bach stuff, or also Handel and Vivaldi, like we said earlier. So 1600s, 1750, this was the really fancy and intense stuff, but like in a good way.
Okay.
Every instrument's doing something different, but it's all fits together. Not one melody that carries this, okay? It's about overlapping. So I'm going to play something called Brandenburg Concerto No. 3 by Bach, and you'll see what I mean, okay?
Okay.
All right, so hang tight here. Do you see how it's fast with like a ton of detail?
Yeah.
Right? Like this is a good way to hear Baroque music. It's like pick one section, like the violins or something, and just follow them for a bit. And then sort of zoom out and then listen for the next one. That's sort of how you listen to it. Make sense?
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, that's
So
Bach.
that's like specifically for Baroque music.
That's specifically Baroque.
Okay.
Overlapping instruments. There was a lot going on there. All right, now let's do the actual classical period, right? Capital C, Mozart, mid-1700s, early 1800s. You'll notice, it's going to be like more simpler, more balanced. Instead of 5 things happening at once, like in Baroque, it's going to be like 1, like way more organized, okay? We're going to listen to Eine kleine Nachtmusik by Mozart, okay?
Okay.
All right, we ready? Okay, do you see how it's super polished, super symmetrical? Remember we were talking about storytelling before?
Yes.
And I said classical with a capital C is like the storytelling one of all of them. Yeah, right? Super awesome. That one's like totally my favorite. All right, next you have the Romantic period. This was the late 1800s, okay? A little Beethoven, Chopin, and Tchaikovsky. Everything's going to sound bigger here and louder and way more dramatic. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, we're going to listen to something called The Finale of Swan Lake by Tchaikovsky. It's like a freaking movie soundtrack. Here we go.
Okay.
Right, making sense. Super theatrical, totally awesome, really loud. You picking up what I'm putting down here?
Yeah, I mean, they're all very distinctly different.
Yes, this is making sense, right?
Yeah,
you can start to
absolutely.
tell the difference between the periods. Okay, I love this. Almost done. Then you have the modern period, 1900 and 1970. This is when shit starts to break apart. Stravinsky goes nuts and starts pushing all these boundaries that nobody thought could be pushed. And I'm warning you, for this one, the rhythm's going to get a little weird. It's not all clean and pretty. It's like pretty random, okay? We're going to listen to something called The Rite of Spring by Stravinsky, okay?
Okay.
Do you see how this one sort of frustrating?
I mean, it's a little boring.
Starts
It's a
slow,
little-
right?
Yeah,
Starts slower, but it sort of demands your attention nonetheless, right?
Right.
You have to listen hard to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Pay attention, right? So that's modern. This one's
Okay.
a little bit messier.
I mean, there's always with modern anything. I feel like I'm not always,
Yeah.
the most on board.
Not for everybody, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But that's kind of like the musical version of modern art, right?
That's true.
I go to a
Yeah.
modern art museum. I'm not super into everything. So anyway, you get the
I
concept.
guess maybe we just don't have an appreciation as much for modern stuff as
Wait,
the
maybe not.
classics.
Maybe that's it. Should I do the last one or no? Are you bored? Or
No,
should we
let's
do
do
one
the last
more?
one.
Should I do
Yeah.
contemporary?
Let's do it.
Okay, fine. Okay, so contemporary is in our lifetime stuff, 1975 through today. They add spoken word. In this case, no orchestra to start, so shit might get crazy here, the one I'm picking. Okay, so don't freak
Okay.
out. We're going to listen to Allemand from Perdita for 8 Voices by Caroline Shaw. You ready?
Okay. I don't know if I'm ready, but here we go.
To the side.
To the side.
To the side. And around. Through the middle.
To the side.
To the side.
To the side. And around. Through the middle.
To the side.
To the side.
To the side.
To the side.
And around. And around. And around. And around. And around. Through the middle.
To the side.
Right, no music, no orchestra. This is all vocals, totally different than Mozart. Okay, but I still totally love it, right? Once you hear the patterns, each era has its own personality. Totally cool.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I love it. I mean, I see
Oh, you
how,
didn't like it?
No, I see how they're all just a little different.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. That is not my favorite at all.
Okay, but that wasn't the goal of this. The goal of this was to make us feel more sophisticated, that we could figure out all 5 periods.
Correct. Yes.
Did we
yes,
do it?
yes. And we did. We did do that.
Okay, good.
That's for sure.
Good.
Okay, so do you have anything else, or are we just going to go to fun facts?
All right, fun facts. Let's go. Classical music fun facts. Because we've had enough of this whole trying to get sophisticated. I'm locked. I'm ready. Number 1. Did you know that listening to classical music actually lights up your brain like a workout? Okay,
Huh.
so neuroscientists have found that classical music activates multiple parts of the brain at once: emotion, memory, even motor function. It's especially powerful because of its structure. Your brain has to track patterns, predict what's coming next, and responds to unexpected changes, which builds focus and cognitive flexibility over time. That's probably why you like the classical period, Mozart, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to predict what's coming next.
Interesting.
So when people are into modern or contemporary, they can't predict it. So that's probably some left brain, right brain shit, right? I
Maybe.
wonder if it has.
That's
yeah,
true, that's
I
true.
wonder. Okay.
More pattern versus random.
Yes, for sure. Okay, number 2. Tchaikovsky once conducted an entire friggin' orchestra with one hand because his other hand was holding his chin. How do you like that? Because I think he had too many chins. Just kidding. So I guess he had this irrational fear. Okay, I'm not making this up. That his head might fall off while conducting. So he literally used to hold it in place with one hand. Sounds like a joke, but it's totally dead serious. Look it up. Couldn't believe
Okay.
that one. I thought that was
Super
a
random.
fun fact. Okay, number 3. How about this one? The composer Johannes Brahms reportedly slept with a dagger under his pillow. Not for drama or anything, but because he had deep anxiety and irrational fears. Dude, romantic era composers did not come to play. Seriously. Tchaikovsky, friggin' thinking his head's going to fall off. Brahms with the frickin' knife under his pillow. What the hell?
I mean, beautiful minds, Peter. Beautiful
Okay.
minds.
I guess you're right. Number 4. So when Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring, the one we just listened to literally, premiered in 1913, it was so unmusical and rhythmically jarring to the audience in Paris that people rioted. Okay, people threw things. Amanda, fights broke out. They almost couldn't continue the performance. Police were called in, and I quote, "Several people were arrested." And here we are 100 years later, and it's an iconic masterpiece, and I'm playing it on our Sort of Sophisticated podcast. Go Stravinsky. All right, number 5. Frédéric Chopin hated big public concerts and did not typically play for large crowds. He preferred small gatherings in big mansion homes, usually in front of like aristocrats and artists and all his close friends. Through his whole career, he only gave 30 public concerts. 30, that's it. He was quoted saying, "Concerts are never real music. You have to give up the idea of hearing in them all the most beautiful things of art." So yeah, not a concert guy.
Huh. Random.
Yeah, that was not for him. Okay. Number 6, Beethoven used to dunk his head in cold water before composing. A ritual he believed helped him stay focused and mentally sharp. Some biographers think it was his way of shocking his senses awake, kind of like today's cold plunges or ice baths. And it wasn't just a quirk. This man was going deaf, battling illness, and still composing some of the most complex music in history. So yeah, some raw genius shit for sure there, Amanda.
There must have been something behind it.
Absolutely, right? Dunking your head in cold water. Let's go. And finally, Mozart wasn't just a musical genius. He was also kind of a troll. Okay, check this one out. One of his lesser-known works is a 6-part vocal canon titled Leck mich im Arsch, which, yes, literally translates to "lick me in the ass."
Oh, my God.
Yes, and that's not a mistranslation or a joke. It was real sheet music written for real singers. Turns out Mozart had a famously juvenile sense of humor.
Like you.
Yeah, thank you very much. But also deeply unserious in the best way possible, right? My idol.
Y'all would have gotten along so well. All right, so we got some cold plunges, some butt jokes, and musical brain workouts. And honestly, I did not have any of those
I like
on
the
my
butt jokes.
bingo card.
Right?
Yeah, well.
I didn't even know we were playing bingo. You're playing bingo over
Yeah,
here.
we
I'm just
always
trying to
play
keep.
bingo. We
I'm the
always
one
play
doing
bingo.
all damn research. You're playing bingo.
Well,
Whatever.
just anticipation of what you're going to say. Okay, but before I lose you in your headphones and your classical playlist like turns on,
I already have
why
it
don't
on.
you go
I already
ahead
have it playing in the
and
background right now.
give us some key takeaways. Like, what do I actually need to remember from all of this if I want to sound halfway cultured?
All right, here we go. For those of you who didn't like this episode, all I can say is we can't help you. We did our best. What can we say? You're just not into classical music. Please try harder. Okay. But for those of you who did, here's a few things you could do to dig a little deeper. First, you could start your own curated playlist of classical music and start jamming while you're making dinner. Look for intro into classical music or classical essentials on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. I don't care. They're great for getting a feel for like each period without getting overwhelmed. Second, maybe take a risk. Go watch a live performance. Search up concerts by major orchestra, Berlin Philharmonic, LA Philharmonic, New York Philharmonic, or better, right? Just go to your local symphony near you. Right? I go all the time. It's excellent. Don't worry. You don't have to like wear a tuxedo or dress up really good. Or you could just check out classical podcasts. Try Sticky Notes or Classical Breakdown or NPR's Performance Today. They're like really short, sort of smart takes on specific pieces or specific composers if you want to get into that stuff. That's more for like the really sophisticated. But nonetheless, I'd try one of them. Then just remember these key takeaways to sound sort of sophisticated. So first, classical music isn't just Mozart. We learned that now. It covers 500 plus years from the Baroque period to music still being written today. Second, each era has a vibe. Baroque, fancy layers. Classical, clean and balanced. Romantic, emotional and dramatic. Modern, edgy and experimental. And contemporary, weird but cool. Third, you don't need to get it. If there's anything to take away from this, you don't need to get it. Just chill out and feel it. Listen for patterns, mood shifts, which instruments are talking. Think soundtrack without the movie. Fourth, just remember these phrases and you're golden. Ooh, that's very cinematic. There's a real tension and release feel here, people. I love how layered this counterpoint is. And finally, memorize these 3 names and their fun fact for each. Bach built the foundation for all of Western music, like a 1700s remix king. Mozart, child prodigy and chaos gremlin, who once wrote a song called Lick Me in the Ass. Beethoven composed masterpieces long after going deaf and started each session with a cold plunge.
Well, and there you have it. A not-so-stuffy dive into the world of classical music. From Mozart's elegance to Stravinsky's chaos, classical music isn't some relic. It's a living, breathing soundtrack to human emotion. And if we did our job today, hopefully you're walking away a little more curious, a little more confident, and maybe ready to throw around words like counterpoint and crescendo at your next dinner party. Whether you're listening to a symphony on vinyl, streaming something cinematic while you work, or just recognizing that timpani means something's about to go down, the big takeaway is this: classical music isn't for the experts. It's for anyone willing to listen. As always, if you like this episode, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with that one friend who swears they hate old music but cries during movie scores. Until next time, stay curious, stay classical, and remember, the fancy stuff's not that far out of reach.